Now is the best time to be grinding skills in Hypixel Skyblock. And that is because we currently have a 30% boost due to the community event that Hypixel is running through the end of the year, and a 50% boost from the current Mayor Aura. And while I could just give you all that information and let you run wild, I would instead also like to give my best tips for leveling each skill. So let's start with combat and end with hunting. For combat, there are two main methods I would like to suggest, those being slayers or dungeons. Dungeons if you would like to multitask and get okay combat XP while also leveling up your catacombs, and slayers if you would like to work towards maxing those out while also getting great XP. When it comes to dungeons, you have two options that are completely viable, those being solo running floor 6, assuming you are strong enough to do that, or getting a group together and running the highest floor you physically can. Playing with a group and grinding XP that way will result in more catacombs XP per hour while also getting some combat XP, and solo running F6 will be awesome combat XP, but definitely won't be winning any awards for getting your catacombs XP up. When it comes to slayers, I would honestly suggest starting with T5 revs and grinding all the way to rev level 9 before switching over to T4 Sven and doing the same thing. Rev and Sven are both very manageable slayers and should get you a ton of combat XP along the way, but feel free to do any of the slayers at this time as they all should be great XP per hour. Just make sure you are using the proper slayer specific pet or a legendary wolf pet, and the wolf pet applies to dungeons as well. And if you are so early game that neither dungeons or slayers are doable, I would suggest ignoring combat for the time being and work on a different skill. Now let's move on to farming. Another skill where I would say you have two different options. For a more passive approach, you can go check on your garden every few hours to collect your pests and give items to your visitors. And for a more involved method, I would suggest farming mushrooms, doing visitors, and snagging up pests for the most farming XP per hour. And to get more XP from either method, be sure to at least use a rare rabbit pet and hold out a cultivating hoe. Now we move on to fishing, a skill where I would suggest getting a topaz rod, legendary ammonite and squid pet, a fig stone splitter, and fishing up strider surfers in the blacksmith area of Galatea. Be sure to set up an auto pet rule for equipping your ammonite pet on casting a fishing rod, and to equip your squid pet when you gain fishing XP. Use the best fishing armor you can and gradually work up to better gear as your budget and level allows. Around fishing 30, I would suggest switching to fishing in the Crimson Isle as long as you have a Hyperion. Mining is actually a really fun and easy skill to max out in my opinion. If you are Heart of the Mountain 7 or above, go to the glaciite tunnels and absolutely grind out commissions using a Jasper drill or X655 as it will help you to get Heart of the Mountain 10 and max out your mining skill. And if you are below Heart of the Mountain 7, I would suggest doing enough commissions in the Dwarven mines to get there, then switch over to the other method. Alternatively, you can just do nucleus runs while grinding out commissions in the Crystal Hollows to get Heart of the Mountain 7 or Mining 60, but I would recommend against it as the commissions tend to be much more tedious. And for some extra mining tips, use a rod to swap to a level 100 bow pet each time you want to use your Picobulus ability, get a titanium infused fuel tank, and have an auto pet rule that equips a legendary silverfish pet each time you get mining XP, as this will help with getting more XP. Foraging is honestly such an easy skill ever since the foraging update dropped. Just get any tier of ocelot pet, but an epic is recommended, a decent fig stone splitter, and a full set of figmail. Then just go to town breaking down fig trees on Galatea. I would also suggest hunting down berries as you do so to place better in contests, as that will slightly boost your XP and help with your overall progression through the island. And also try to max out the efficient forager perk for more foraging wisdom. Enchanting is essentially a free skill regardless of the current buffs. Just get to Enchanting 10 by putting basic enchants on your gear, then make an experimentation table. After that, just use the table every 1 to 3 days and eventually you'll hit Enchanting 60. But if you want to speed things up, get at least a rare guardian pet and use bits plus XP to reset the table each day. I personally wouldn't suggest the resets unless you are decently wealthy, but the pet is 100% worth it. Alchemy is partially just a money sink, but it's totally worth doing. It'll make the potions that you brew last longer, and this does apply to G-Pods. My best suggestion for maxing it out is to buy enchanted fermented spider eyes, mix them directly with water bottles, then put some normal glowstone in there. While doing so, be sure to level up 3 legendary sheep pets to sell, and sell all the potions that you make to the NPC. This should minimize the money lost and shouldn't take you more than an hour. Carpentry is another money sink, but this time, it doesn't really help you much. You get some health and some decoration crafting recipes, and that's it. But if you want to do it, here's how I would. Buy inventories full of enchanted red or brown mushrooms, craft them into blocks, then sell them to the NPC or bazaar, whichever one loses you less money at the time. You can also try to buy order the shrooms, but that takes extra time. And if you're really worried about losing money, save the mushrooms you get while leveling up your farming, then craft those into blocks and sell them. That way you end up making money while maxing carpentry. Runecrafting really isn't something you should ever have to go out of your way to get, but if you're desperate to level it up, I would suggest running around the end killing endermen. You should run into a decent amount of runic ones, and if you don't want to do that, just work on leveling up your combat skill by doing any of the slayers and you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Taming is a funny skill because past level 50 you have to invest quite a lot of coins into leveling it up. The best way to get XP for it though is to just always have a pet equipped. While you farm, mine, bite, brew, etc., be leveling a pet. If you were to max out all the other skills, you would have way more than enough taming XP. Social is a stupid skill that you really shouldn't care about. But if you do, the best way to level it up is to encourage unique visitors to stop by your island every once in a while. And one way to do that is by being a content creator. Speaking of which, y'all should totally go type/visit pcgus and check out my island. It'll help us both get closer to social 25. And if you're extra desperate for social XP, consider sitting around on my island for a very slow rate of XP. And that just leaves us with hunting, a skill that you can passively do by using hunt traps. But if you don't want to wait a long time to max it out, I would highly suggest either getting a turbo fishing net and swinging around in Galatea to catch all sorts of creatures, or head to the Dwarven Mines and use a hunt axe with a giant cleaver in it and a pocket black hole to catch the glaciite walkers. You could also do ghosts if you're a mega sweat, but if you are, this whole guide probably hasn't been very helpful. Now, if you have any questions for me, be sure to drop them in the comments, and if not, thanks for watching.